Hello and welcome to The Good Times, a show where two guys discuss things that help us forget about our imminent deaths and insignificance in the universe. I'm Zach.
And I'm Bryson, and we're here to bring you your weekly dose of existential dread repellent, this time in video, if you're watching on that format. Of course, the audio is not going to have that, but that's okay.
We are so excited to have our own Good Time studio.
Yeah, and it's definitely not a closet. Don't look too closely. But yeah, we have been, working on this for a couple of weeks now, and we're excited to bring it to you guys in picture. But of course, if you guys are listening on your favorite podcasting platform, nothing's really going to change.
Hopefully the audio sounds a little bit better though, because all of this fancy soundproofing foam.
That definitely didn't get put up at 4 a.m. Not at all. So also another thing that we need to mention is that it is the final week of the giveaway. So if you guys haven't entered yet, go ahead and do that. Again, it's just like the Facebook or Instagram page, share the post, and then send us a screenshot that you've either followed the page or shared it.
Right. TGT Podcast Official, that's where you send your submissions. Mm-hmm. And that's where you want to go to make sure that you're going to get some free bagels.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's $10 gift cards to Einstein Bagels, 5 winners. So, yeah, go ahead and get entered. Now, we also had a number of responses from our last week's episode for the Items of Joy. There were a lot of responses about the socks. Everybody loves socks.
So great.
Yeah, I wish that I could shill for another podcast because Dear Hank and John is doing the what's it called? The Awesome Socks Club. Yeah. I decided to sign up, but unfortunately can't do that now. But they're going to send me free socks. Well, not free. I paid for it, and that goes to charity. But they are going to send me socks every month.
But it's going to feel like they're free because you're not paying in the moment each time they arrive.
And that's what you need to do when you make impulse purchases is you need to trick yourself into thinking that it's free.
That's the existential dread repellent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to feel a lot of existential dread repellent putting on those brand new socks. So, yeah, thank you guys for your responses for that.
Right. So for those of you who haven't tried socks as just an existential dread repellent, still hard to say despite, what is this, 7 months of podcasting?
Yeah, you say certain phrases so often that it stops becoming words in your mouth. It's just crazy.
It's existential.
Well, yeah, and if you keep saying a word enough, if you just say existential 50 times, it stops becoming English. You're like, that's definitely not the word. Or if you spell something a lot and then you look at it and you're like, that can't possibly be right.
You're just like, I definitely spelled that wrong.
Yeah. But I always do this is I just Google the word and then if it comes out correct, I'm like, I was right.
Did you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Google corrected me for not putting an apostrophe into the word what's, as in what is.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, thanks for that correction. Huh. I don't care. I'm just Googling my question.
I just need to know something. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, if you haven't already tried socks, get the thickest, fuzziest socks that you can get.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that I stole from my wife, and I freaking love them.
Yeah, they're wonderful, especially during the winter and if you live in the mountains. We also have something very exciting that we've been working on, and that is a website redesign, and we now have an actual logo, not just some words.
It's so cool.
Yeah, so if you guys want to go over to tgtpodcast.com, you guys can see the full redesign, and you can see our new logo. My wife was the one who designed it, and it's got the first half is a sunset, and then the second half is a record,
which is two different things that in my viewpoint are associated with good times.
Yeah, makes me feel like I'm in the middle of the good times.
It looks so good.
We're shilling for our own podcast while they're listening to it.
Yeah, we've already got them. We don't need to.
Right.
We don't need to get them any more than we do.
Yeah.
All right. So Bryson, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about citrus sodas. Now that probably sounds like a weird thing, but when we get into it,
hyper specific.
Yeah, it's because we have narrowed this down from the biggest thing. We should just talk about beverages. They're a big one, and then we started going through the list. There are so many to talk about.
Oh my
so we're like, what about just soft drinks? There's still a million of those.
Seriously, so many soft drinks.
Yeah, so we decided that we were going to go ahead and talk about one that hits pretty close to home for all of us, and that's the citrus sodas. So we're talking our 7-Ups, our Sprites, our Sun-Kisses, and Fantas. I don't have to name them all, but you know what I'm talking about here. So let's dive on in. Now, as for ranking these, I think since we didn't actually come up with how we're going to rank them, if you are new to this podcast, it's a little disorganized. I'll say disorganized.
No.
That's the nicer way of putting it.
No, it's not disorganized. It's just
It's eccentric.
Unplanned.
That sounds worse. It's
like an unplanned pregnancy. That doesn't sound great. Let's go with disorganized. That's
disorganized.
fine.
Disorganized pregnancy. I think that's all pregnancies. I all feel disorganized.
We should not make fun of pregnant people on our podcast.
Oh no, it's not. I just can't imagine that anybody is going to classify their pregnancy as organized.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, I mean, this is coming from someone with zero expertise on the subject. So the first things that we got up is 7-Up.
7-Up. I like how you went, this first thing we got up.
Yeah,
7-Up.
Well, yeah, the first thing we got down here, in case you're wondering why I keep looking over, because if you are watching the video, it's because I've got my laptop with all of our notes on there. I'm just going to...
Because we don't exactly have all these memorized.
Yeah, honestly, and one day we'll have a teleprompter, but we were struggling to think about buying the soda for this episode. So. All right, so the first up is 7-Up. I'm not a big fan of it, and here's why. I associate it with being sick. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, is that anytime that, like, especially like any like stomach flus, that I'd eat saltine crackers and 7-Up. And so now I will never buy 7-Up unless I'm sick. So.
See, 7-Up, between 7-Up and Sprite, 7-Up is the sweeter of the two. Sprite has a bit more of like a bitter taste.
Okay.
But
I can see that.
I think I prefer the little bit more bitter taste of Sprite, because for me I don't like for my sweet things to be just straight sweet.
Yeah.
And especially if you have 7-Up that's like opened and it's been into your fridge for a day, that's just like, it feels like you're just drinking syrup at that point.
Well, and so that, I'm glad that you brought this up, because the two to definitely compare between each other is the 7-Up and Sprite. They are definitely the most similar on this. And there's a couple of things that I don't like about Sprite either. It goes flat too fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then it becomes weirdly gross, syrupy
It
water.
starts way too carbonated.
Yes, but it goes so fast.
So
I don't know how that happens.
Way too carbonated to like not carbonated at all.
Yeah.
And at that point, you might as well just take a cup full of sugar and dump it in your mouth.
Yeah. There is one big up for Sprite, and that's that they have the Cranberry Sprite.
See, I feel like the best thing that you can do with Sprite is mix it with other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sprite does not go well on its own. It's and so if
you've got to get like the lime sherbet and mix the Sprite in with the lime sherbet, like a root beer float kind of a thing.
But I almost feel like that's points against Sprite, because if you have to add something to make it good, it's not very good.
That's true.
And
that's
so as far as 7-Up goes and Sprite, I definitely don't think they're going to be the winners here. What would you rank them on? Big sorry.
X.
And I know, and here's the hard thing, as I know there's huge Sprite fans out there, so we're probably gonna get.
Well, the thing is too, when I was
I've
younger,
never heard of a 7-Up fan. So I don't think we're upset in that.
No one's a devoted 7-Up chaplain.
Oh man.
But I remember, like, when I was younger, every time we would go to a restaurant and they were like, "What do you want to drink?" I was like, "Well, I don't really know, but I like Sprite." And so I would just always get Sprite, and so like I kind of remember that, but then I did eventually figure out, like, oh, I love Dr. Pepper. And so now every time we go, I'll get either Dr. Pepper or a Lime Ricky, which is Sprite with
something to make it good.
With like some grape juice mixed in.
Yeah, I actually love a lot of Sprite mixed drinks, but
yeah, they're great.
On its own, it's all right.
Pass.
Sorry, guys. It falls a little flat. I'm so sorry.
I genuinely liked that joke.
Well, thank you. So next up,
I'm ready to be a dad.
Yeah. you feel it in your, like,
the dad flows through my veins.
In your punny bone, that's what you. Oh God, what is this podcast anymore? So the next thing that we've got is Mellow Yellow. Now, I will say I like Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, it's
if Mountain Dew isn't an option.
Right.
and I'm also a little upset about Mellow Yellow from what I've heard when I was looking up for another citrus soft drink, which is Vault. Vault would be unequivocally the best citrus soda, bar none, and then we could just end the episode here. However, in 2011, Coca-Cola discontinued Vault. Why? Because they also own Mellow Yellow and decided to hedge their bets on one citrus soda rather than two.
Yeah.
And I think they made such an egregious wrong choice on this, because first off, Vault is infinitely better than Mellow Yellow, and also it was better than Mountain Dew. And this is coming from someone who's really likes Mountain Dew.
He is to Mountain Dew what I am to Dr. Pepper.
For someone who rants all the time about how bad high fructose corn syrup is for you, I drink a lot of Mountain Dew when it's around. And so that's why I have to not keep it in the house.
Right.
But that's great.
Growing up with you, I remember that you always had Mountain Dew on hand.
Oh, yeah.
And so if I wanted some, I could always just come around and get some Mountain Dew.
And whenever we'd walk to the gas station, I remember that's what I'd grab. When
we were like 14 and I lived in Riverton and we lived like 2 blocks from the gas station and we'd ride our ripsticks.
Yeah. Oh man, this is really taking me back to a time.
And your hair was like down to your nose.
Yeah, which
you'd have to like do the emo.
Give me a couple months and I might get back to it.
I know. We're both growing out our hair right now.
Yeah, partly because like I don't want to get a haircut in a pandemic. But
that's
also
part of it for me too, honestly.
Yeah, but also because my wife's like, you should grow out your hair, and I'm like, well, you're the only one I'm trying to impress. So
see, that's my wife. My wife is like, as long as you don't look like a hobo, do whatever you want. And
there you go.
I want to grow out my hair.
So does that mean that you get a free pass to grow it full like Rhett?
I'm trying to be able to do a full bun from the front of my head to the back. If I could look
half as good as Rhett does with his long hair and his beard, I'd go for it immediately.
He looks fantastic.
It's good.
But Link looks really good with his style too.
See, that's what I think I could get closest to with my hair, especially with like the wave thing that my cowlicks do, is that I can maybe get to that. I don't think I could quite pull off the Rhett.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people
Well, he's got like this naturally kind of wavy hair that just perfectly matches.
It's very surf style, but also like caveman, but just enough caveman.
See, if I could grow out a full beard, I would, but I get these bald patches right here, and it looks super bad.
See, that's why I have that mine. It's because my cheeks don't grow out, so I just shave that down. And
so for those on the video,
you just work with what you got.
The video version of the podcast, you can see us gesturing at our faces.
Yeah, and my beard is back. So
we like beards. Good. Yeah, I have a picture of you without a beard. There is
destroy it.
Photo evidence.
Destroy it. Get rid of it.
I use it as your contact photo.
Oh God, why would you do that?
All right, next up.
So the next two that these definitely need to be compared to each other is Sun-Kissed and Fanta, and one of these is infinitely better than the other, and that's Fanta.
Yes, agreed.
I don't know who buys Sun-Kissed, but you know what? The only times that I've ever actually had Sun-Kissed was I would go to like parties, like birthday parties, and for some reason that's in the cooler.
They're always there.
Who buys it?
Who's like, why is that the decision? That like you were looking at all of the different options of sodas, and you said, "Wow, that one looks great."
Yeah, and they're next to each other in the aisle for Fanta.
They're always the last one. Like, if there's a big cooler with a variety of options, they're always the last one left.
Yeah. You're like, all right, I guess I'll drink Sun-Kissed.
You're like, well, it's better than water.
But every time I drink it, I go, I don't want to finish this.
Yeah, I do. I usually only drink like half of one.
Yeah.
There's another thing too. I mean, Crush is another one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Crush.
Yeah.
Now there is something interesting about Crush. Is the non-orange version? I can't remember what it's called. It's got the yellow can. It might actually be original Crush. Yeah, there's something. It must be something like that because it's a lot sharper of a flavor, and that's actually really good.
I like that one a lot more.
And it's great in a glass bottle. I could do a glass bottle of that.
Yeah, it just gives you like beach vibes.
Oh yeah, for sure. It does. Yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I would go for a regular Crush, unless that is the regular.
See, the funny thing to me about Crush is that whenever people talk about it, they always say Orange Crush.
Yeah, because I don't like Orange Crush. That's the one that I don't understand. I thought that was the original, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I could Google it, but I won't.
But I don't know if I've ever had anything other. Like I might have had one of the yellow Crushes, but
I think I have because they're pretty good, and so.
But I mean, it sounds really good. I mean, anything pineapple to me sounds really good. I love pineapple.
Yeah. Pineapple is
mango
honestly,
and pineapple.
Probably my favorite fruit. So
I love.
Ooh, and mango pineapple mix.
So good.
So good. Somebody needs to get on that for a citrus soda.
Mango pineapple soda. Get on it.
Well, that brings us kind of to our poor segue here. This brings us to our what we've already declared as the winner of the citrus sodas, which is Mountain Dew. This was all pre-planned.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I do love about Mountain Dew is that if you don't like original or if you don't like voltage, there are so many different flavors and they're all fairly different from each other.
Do they all count as citrus though?
I mean, it's a citrus base. Because it's always regular Mountain Dew infused with a different flavor. And so, voltage is, like, I have the can right here. And if you're watching on the video for this, boom. So because it's Dew charged with raspberry citrus flavor. Oh, it's citrus flavor and ginseng. So every one of them is going to have the actual Mountain Dew, and then you add whatever flavor on top of that, which can sometimes also be a citrus.
So
soda.
it does count as a citrus.
I'm gonna call it.
Citrus soda.
I'm not backtracking the episode for it.
So if you're watching, yes, these are all citrus sodas. We're definitely not going off topic just so that we can drink a bunch of citrus sodas.
That was the excuse, but it's a valid excuse.
In case you haven't picked up on it already, we are going to live taste a bunch of different Mountain Dew flavors.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's get to our music recommendation for the week.
Yes, we should. Okay, so what we've got is, and he'll throw it up onto the video for this so that you guys can quickly find it, as well as in the description for both the podcast and the video. You guys can now find a Spotify playlist of all of the songs that we recommend. I was asked by a listener, how would we be able to quickly find these? Because they actually really like the song recommendations. So now you'll all be able to find it in one place on Spotify.
Yep, so wherever you're listening to this to, you can just click on the link. It'll take you right to our playlist, and you'll be able to pick out the song. Yeah. There'll only be 3 for this one, but once we get into future episodes, there'll be more and more until eventually we just have lots and lots of good songs for you to listen to.
Yeah.
And we'll label the playlist Existential Dread Repellent.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that is also where we got the term, was when I was originally making a feel-good playlist on Spotify. I was like, what should I name this? My Existential Dread Repellent. So that's why we say it 400 times. The song recommendation for this week is Smooth Move by Wong. Now, if you guys like funky, jazzy, weird math rock all fused into one, it's the kind of music that you want to listen to.
I love Wong because every time that I turn him on, it just makes me want to move.
Yeah, it's funk instrumental with some great guitar licks. It's super fun, and it's definitely
and it's the kind of thing where he's got enough talent where he can play some super technical stuff on the guitar, but make it sound groovy, and it sounds simple despite the fact that he's going crazy on that thing.
Oh yeah, so if you guys have ever heard of either the bands Wolfpack or if you've listened to Chan, then it's a very similar to like a fusion between those two. So if you guys are into any of that funky stuff and it's instrumental music, then check them out. Yeah, Smooth Move by Wong.
Yep, and if you have any music recommendations that you want to have featured on the podcast, you can send us a Facebook message, Instagram, tgtpodcastofficial@gmail.com is where you can email us. Any of those platforms, we will get that recommendation from you.
Yeah. All right, so now on to our Mountain Dew taste test. Now, we do not have every Mountain Dew flavor out there. I decided to just do a quick search, and I'm like, how many are there? Because I know that I've had plenty over the years. Dozens! And there seems to be a unique Mountain Dew flavor for every different place. Like from Sam's Club to Dollar General to Taco Bell, KFC, they all have their own flavors.
Any restaurant that gets like a partnership with Mountain Dew, they always get their own like specialized flavor. Yeah. So you get to go to like all these different parts of the country and get like distinct Mountain Dew flavors. Yeah. Now, not all of them are good.
Yeah, that's true, because I've tried KFC's, and I'm sorry if you guys like this, but I think it's called Sweet Lightning. It was not good. I love sweet tea. I love Mountain Dew. Don't mix the two.
Two good things do not always make a better thing.
Yeah, honestly. Like chocolate and pickles. You don't want to do that. Yeah. So what we have done, and what we should start with, of course, is original Mountain Dew. This is kind of like our taste breaker.
Baseline.
Because we need, especially since we know that these are all infused Mountain Dew versions, we gotta try the base to kind of get an idea.
Right.
Now,
a lot of these control test.
Yeah, a lot of these we have tried before, of course. And he likes his with some ice, so we've gotten him a glass of ice. I just like it straight from the can. Now, I do have some opinions about how you can drink soft drinks. I think the ratio goes glass is better than can, is better than bottle.
I 100% agree. Yeah. The only thing is that if I can, I will always put it into a glass with ice.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. I don't really care if my drink is like all that cold, so long as it's just like below room.
See, I feel like it's a combination of factors for me, where it's not just the fact that the drink is cold, but it also takes just enough of the carbonation out of it that I do like it slightly less carbonated than straight out of the container.
That makes sense. Yeah, my wife really likes her sodas almost semi-flat because she doesn't like the carbonation all that much. But I kind of like heavy carbonation. It's maybe the thing that I look for. So,
see, I do like for it to be pretty carbonated, but just not quite how it is directly when you first open it right out of the can. That's just a little bit too much for me, and I like where ice puts it because it cools it off and it does both. It's a beautiful experience.
Nice. Yeah, let us know how you guys drink your soda. I actually am curious, and if you got a better idea, like some people like to slice like orange wedges into theirs and it kind of adds that extra citrus. Let us know what you do to make your sodas even better.
I'm a nice guy.
You're an ice. You're in ice. Anyway. So the next thing that we got to try, especially because it's about to go flat, is the one that we did actually pick up that was special to a restaurant or store, and that is Taco Bell's Baja Blast. Which I will say, from all the ones that I've tried, this is the best one.
Probably so. Yeah.
And so, I mean, as you probably see on camera, it has already been taste tested a number of times.
There's a little bit in here that's we've definitely been kind of drinking it as we go.
Yeah. Oh man, this is Diabetes the podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and give that one a shot here.
Cheers to that.
Oh, it's just a better version of Mountain Dew.
It's so good. Like now, sometimes they will release this as in like 12 packs in the stores, and when they do, you just buy that stuff up like it's a low-priced stock, dude.
Oh man, I love it. But I will say it's not as good as on tap, and that brings us to the whole discussion about fountain drinks coming from tap.
Right.
If it is done right, the fountain drink on tap is going to be better than any other version of any bottled version.
It's like the McDonald's fry.
Yeah.
If the McDonald's fries are hot right out of the fryer, freshly salted, they're awesome. They're amazing. Like some of the best fries there are. Mm-hmm. If they've been out of the fryer for 10 minutes,
yeah.
Good luck.
Are they even a fry anymore?
Yeah, you're basically just eating a crisp piece of cardboard.
Exactly. So yeah, if you get the perfect ratio of, honestly, they're more like soggy noodles. But you get if you get that perfect ratio of carbonation with the water and the syrup, then it is nirvana.
See, the interesting thing for me about fountain drinks is that when you do get it, because I like it with ice, but then I also feel like maybe I don't want to get ice because then I get more of the actual drink.
See, that's what I always do. I am so cheap, and so I'm like, I got ice at home. But I don't have Baja Blast at home.
If I get the can of it, I just, you're getting the 12-ounce can no matter if you put in ice or not. But when I'm in a restaurant or like going through the drive-thru, I'm like, maybe I usually do end up getting ice anyway because that is like the prime way. And I'm like, maybe I'm okay with getting a little bit less so that I can get the prime experience that I enjoy. But I always have that in the back of my mind, like maybe I should just... Especially if I'm gonna like go home, because then I can just put my own
then
ice
you can just put your own ice.
Then you're just straight getting more soda.
Well, and for me, like it comes out of the tap cold, and so I don't really care. I'm
depends on the place, honestly.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. And sometimes it comes out really cold, and so I'm like, I kind of needed to like warm up a little bit before I drink it.
I like all of my drinks. Well, not all of my drinks. Not hot drinks, but if
Which
it's
will
not
be another episode.
If it is not a hot drink, I like it cold.
I see. Has anybody ever tried hot Mountain Dew? Maybe we need to be the first. We need to pave the way for these. We should
try hot Mountain Dew. That's existential dread repellent there.
We will try it and get back to you for the next episode. But what we got here is, of course, Mountain Dew Voltage. Now, this is my go-to for whenever I am just getting a 12-pack at the store. Because I do think it's better than regular Mountain Dew, and it's consistently there. In fact, every time that I go, even if like the pretty popular flavors like Live Wire or Code Red aren't there, Voltage usually is. And so let's go ahead and jump into that one here.
For those of you who like ASMR of cans opening, you're probably loving this
It's
episode.
maybe the only like sound effect that I actually do like.
Because kind of every time you open a can, what follows is just...
And then you're like preparing your mouth almost waters.
Yeah,
like,
you get the whole Pavlov's dog effect where you just
what? I am pretty thirsty. I should try.
Oh, man. So, yeah. Yeah, he's just about to melt here. Voltage, with Voltage being your go-to, I frequently will drink Voltage at your house. I mean, even frequently before we even go into the podcast, that this is what I'll be able to drink.
Yeah, this is our thinking juice.
Right?
You know what? I actually think I like it more than Baja Blast. That sharp raspberry flavor is so good because the one problem with regular Mountain Dew is it's just really sugary. And so you need that sharp citrusy flavors, and this kind of just puts it over the top. Kind of like talking about the Pineapple Crush.
Yeah,
that
that's
extra
true.
Sharp flavor really puts it over for me.
I don't know if it's just the fact that I've just had 2 other Mountain Dews, but it like the raspberry seems like way sharper to me now.
Yes, it really is. And you know what's funny is I'm glad that we started with the first one because you really can tell like they added. I've never drank different types of Mountain Dews back to back before, so this is kind of interesting.
This is the taste test for all of our taste testing.
All right, so this is the one that I get if I'm getting like the 3 for $12 deals at a grocery store. Then I usually go 1 pack of Voltage, 1 pack of Livewire, and then something else. So what we're gonna go for is Livewire. Now you're gonna notice if you're watching the video, this is a plastic bottle. We could not get it in the 12 pack from where we were at, so we're gonna go ahead and try it from here.
It's gonna be the less optimal experience, but I'm drinking it in a glass with ice. So
I did find out that like because they have so many different flavors and types in Mountain Dew, that this seems to be a common problem. Even on their website, they have a locator option to be able to find.
That was so nuts. If you're looking for like a specific type of Mountain Dew, you can actually go on there and be like, "Where's the nearest place that I can go to get that flavor?"
Oh. It's way better in a can. I have it enough that I know that this is not as good. But I always call it souped up orange juice.
I actually really like that.
This is my morning Mountain Dew. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could be kind of like a sommelier of Mountain Dews. You could recommend pairings of different flavors with your meals. You're like, you're having the breakfast. This is definitely goes well with the Livewire of the bottle.
See, I feel like this is a better version of any of those orange sodas.
It is. That's the thing about Mountain Dew and why we chose it as a winner is every variant of it is better than any other that tries.
Sunkissed, Fanta Crush, all of them I feel like get trumped by that.
Oh yeah, Livewire is my go.
This is my first time ever having Livewire, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never had Livewire before in my life.
Yeah, so. I really like it. I am ashamed to admit that it kind of is my morning one. Like if I don't have orange juice in there, then and I'm making like bacon and eggs, I'll crack open a Livewire. And it kind of fills
You're like,
the niche.
It's orangey.
It really is. It's souped up orange juice.
Well, I mean, talking about orange juice, it's funny because the original Mountain Dew, you told me this, it has orange juice more than it has any other.
In fact, I can prove that here. So the weird thing is, this is supposed to be a lemon lime soda, yet the only actual juice in it is concentrated orange juice.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe that's why it's extra good. I wonder, though, does Livewire have the orange juice in it?
Oh, that's interesting.
So let's see here. Oh, yeah, it's actually even higher up. It's the 3rd ingredient on there, concentrated orange juice.
They just upped the orange juice concentration.
I wonder if Livewire was a mistake at the factory where they were making regular Mountain
Someone
Dew.
just like poured this.
Oh, crap, we doubled the concentrated orange juice. Wait. It's amazing.
It's that whole thing where it's like, hey, did you put the orange juice in it? And it's like, yeah. And I'm like, wait, I also put the orange juice in it. They're like, crap.
let's just roll with it. We're trying a new idea here.
Yeah, Livewire.
Yeah, there you go. Because that's how they felt when they were walking on a live wire, trying to explain to their boss why they doubled the orange juice concentration.
There you go. That's the actual backstory verified.
Oh yeah,
from
totally.
the Good Times podcast of how the Livewire.
Just don't Google it. That's our policy on this podcast. We say things confidently, not accurately.
Our catchphrase is just don't Google that.
Just don't Google it. So this next one I know is some people's favorite soft drinks. I wonder if this is
a lot of people swear by this.
Seriously, like, and it's a love it or hate it. I mean, I do fall in the middle where I'm like, sometimes I have that specific craving for Code Red, but other times, like, I really don't like it. And I don't know what it is, but some people love this. So we're going to go ahead and give it a try.
So I'm pretty sure I've had Code Red before, but I might not have. So we'll find out when I actually put it in my mouth.
Yeah, honestly, it does have a very distinct flavor, so I'll give it that. Cherry is definitely not a citrus.
Is it a cherry flavor?
It is, yeah. Let me see. What do they call it? Because I always like supercharge the names for these things. Yeah. So Code Red with a rush of cherry flavor. So, yeah. Go ahead and give that a shot.
The fact that I'm drinking like a cold drink, my body's starting to like shiver and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm starting to get like kind of jittery.
Nice.
I don't think it's the caffeine, because normally caffeine takes like half an hour to set in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like,
I always feel an extra... and I don't usually feel a crash from caffeine. Like if I drink a couple cups of coffee, I don't really feel a crash, but I do feel a sugar crash if I'm getting it from a sugar drink.
Right. Maybe it's just my body like giving a pre-adrenaline rush of like it knows that there's caffeine coming.
That's pretty good. But I know that one of the biggest complaints that I hear from Code Red is that it tastes a little like cough syrup. And I get that, but I don't think I mind that.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't.
Out of all that we've tried so far, it's my least favorite, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've had it before, and now that I've tasted it, I definitely am not going to buy it again if I ever go to the grocery store.
But, again, if you're at that birthday party and you're between Crush and Code Red, I'd probably grab the Code Red.
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, maybe I have. I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, it does taste very medicinal, and so I totally get the criticism of it, but
I don't know, like I do get where it's coming from with the cough syrup taste. Like I was like, okay, yeah, I can identify where that idea would come from.
Yeah.
That's not what bothers me though. I just don't love the flavor.
Yeah. And also it's overly syrupy without enough carbonation to balance it.
Yeah, I wonder if it would have been better without ice.
Yeah. Oh, it might be. Maybe that one we need to try hot. I'll microwave anything for the podcast.
Maybe that. We'll do a whole nother episode where we just microwave a bunch of Mountain Dew flavors.
We should definitely do an episode. This is the segment of our show where we pitch ideas about the show on the episode. But we should do an episode where we microwave various things that shouldn't be microwaved to see if it makes it better.
And we freeze things that shouldn't be frozen.
I love this. This is a great idea.
So, we're just turning into Rhett and Link now.
I know, honestly. I'm not trying to steal their ideas. They just have good ideas.
It's true. It's true.
So, the last thing that we have to be able to try here is apparently a brand new one. It came out in January of this year. And I think we're the first podcast to try this. But don't quote us on that because I didn't look that hard. So it is called Mountain Dew Major Melon, and it's charged with watermelon. It's even got like a little watermelon general on there.
Yeah, it's pretty psychedelic.
Yeah, looking. Honestly, it's a cool looking can, and there's definitely something about like bright pinks and greens that do make me go, that's gotta taste good.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta give it a try.
Gotta taste good. For how much pink I'm seeing there.
I know. I'm actually really excited for this because watermelon flavors of most things tend to be my favorite. So I got high hopes for this. Here we go. I like that. It tastes like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. It's like a carbonated. It's a little bit toned down from what the Jolly Rancher flavor is. It's not that like in your face.
Oh, dang.
It's subtle.
I like that.
I like
that a lot. Mountain Dew, I think you hit a good one. I might get that more often. I'm glad I have a 12-pack of it.
Pour me a little more.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Definitely, totally following great safety precautions in COVID times. But that is really good. I'm a big fan of that. So. Yeah,
it's subtle. It's like perfectly subtle. In my opinion.
It really is. Because like my favorite Jolly Rancher by far is the watermelon ones. But yeah, they kind of do get a little sharp after they've been in your mouth for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, but you know what's weird is it's the least Mountain Dew tasting of all of them.
That's true. It definitely has more of the melon flavor to
it.
And
you know what's weird is it's the lowest calorie of them all.
Oh, interesting.
These are all 170 calories. I mean. The bottle size, if you scale them down, I know that this one's actually 180 calories, both of them. So these are higher. That one's 160.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not that much, but like it is enough. That's a couple grams of sugar less.
Yeah, so. Maybe that's part of why it's more subtle.
Yeah,
because like part of the reason why I didn't like the Code Red so much is because it's so in your face with that cherry flavor.
It really is. Yeah.
Whoa,
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. Dang. I mean, this must be great content, just hearing us go, yes.
Oh, yes. You hear my ice clinking around.
Yeah, this is the ASMR episode. So, of course, this is not all the Mountain Dews that are out there. And I did want to give a couple of shout-outs to different ones that we weren't able to get on there. And maybe they're not all shout-outs. Some of them are some critiques. But the first one is Pitch Black.
I have not.
Have you ever had that?
No.
Pitch Black is pretty good. I think it's grape. I think they mix it with grape, and
I could see that being good.
Yeah, it's kind of like just like a citrusy grapey drink. It actually honestly tastes a lot like when you mix the white grape juice with Sprite.
Oh.
But better. So it's pretty good.
Who dat?
My wife.
Okay.
Anyway, so and then the next one that I want to talk about is Game Fuel, just because I have so many good memories of Game
I also
Fuel.
have not had Game Fuel.
So Game Fuel is one of the hard ones because there's a bunch of different flavors. It's like a specific like promotion that Mountain Dew puts out, because you know the stereotype of gamers just eat a bunch of Cheetos and Mountain Dew. It's true, but it still hurts. And I remember like great, and I'm not going to do it any more justice because I'm about to say that I played about 12 hours of WoW straight one time when I had a 12-pack, 2 different 12-packs of it. This is me as a kid. So it's a little more forgivable.
How much of a kid are we talking? Are we
like 12. I think it was 12. Yeah. And so I was playing World of Warcraft for like 12 hours straight. I had 2 12-packs of the different Game Fuel types, and I was just pounding them between every session.
Oh, man.
It was great memories. I don't think I felt very good after. But you gotta do those crazy things every once in a while.
It does remind me of when we did our all-nighter in it was... We did an all-nighter the night before New Year's.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we proceeded to stay up all day on New Year's.
Yeah, we did it. I think we stayed up for a total of like 56 hours or something like
nuts.
that.
Yeah.
And we went from staying up all night. I think for a 24-hour period, all that we ate was pizza.
Yeah.
And all that we drank was Mountain Dew.
Honestly, no regrets. It's made me into the person that I am today.
I was 16 at the time. I think you had just turned 17.
Yeah, I think so, because I would have been, 2 days from it. So.
Yeah. I could probably figure out exactly what year that is, but no one actually cares, and we should probably move on now.
The next one that I want to talk about, because it was so weird, is Mountain Dew did one, I think it was either for 4th of July this year or last year, or they might have brought it back for both, it's called Mountain Dew Liberty Brew. And what it's supposed to be is 50 flavors for the 50 states. But you don't taste any of the different flavors. Really what it tastes a lot like is if you just like soaked gummy worms inside of carbonated soda and then drank it. It really just it tastes like general sugary sweet flavor. It's not that great, but it wasn't bad either. I mean,
I guess that some people, that's all they want. It's just sugar and carbonation. So
yeah, and if they did bring it back for 2 years, then maybe it was pretty popular. But I do remember drinking it and thinking, I don't regret drinking it, but I wouldn't go out and buy it myself.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's the same with the Code Red for me. Like, I didn't actively dislike it.
Yeah,
but it's like I would not want to pay for this.
Yeah, and especially when you put it up against all the other contenders and right back to back, like. It just doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
There's so many better options. It is wild to me that I keep going back to this and I think this might be my favorite one. Maybe it's equal to Voltage.
I really liked it, but I don't think that I would buy it over Voltage.
That is hard. I don't think I would either. So, I mean, but that's the thing is Voltage came from the original Democracy where they were doing the 3 different flavors and then one got put through. Mm-hmm. I loved all 3 of the flavors when they were doing that, but Voltage, of course, was the best one. And it sticks around because it is good.
I would definitely take it over regular Mountain Dew, though.
Yeah, for sure. I think that if I was doing a 3 for $12 a deal or whatever they do, I would definitely do Live Wire, Voltage, and this. I think those are my 3 favorites.
We have a new go-to.
Honestly, it's pretty dang good. And then finally, the one that I wanted to talk about was Whiteout. Have you ever had Mountain Dew Whiteout?
I didn't even know it existed.
Don't even need to
today.
try. It is just worse regular Mountain Dew. There isn't any like defining flavor for it that like makes it unique, because at least like Code Red has a uniqueness that you can see why if that was the specific flavor that somebody was going for, that they would like that. But it doesn't have its own flavor, and it's just worse than the regular. So it's not worth it.
They did have for a while on like it was like a 4th of July special or something like that it was a red, white, and blue Mountain Dew, that it was Voltage, Whiteout, and Code Red.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I had that one, and it was decent.
It was decent. Okay. I don't really think I like the mixing flavors ones.
Yeah. It was kind of the same thing where you were talking about, where it was just like too much of a blend. Yeah. Maybe not on the same level as the Liberty Brew that you were talking about, but it was kind of like, well, I could taste that it's a sugary soft drink.
Yeah.
And it does have sort of like a Mountain Dew flavor, and that's about it.
Yeah. So. I wonder if, going back to the Mountain Dew factory here, I wonder if what they do is they're just like, shoot, we have too much excess Code Red, Voltage. And what if we do red, white, and blue?
Just dump it all.
Liberty Brew we have so much excess of everything we've ever made. Just dump it in a vat, call it Liberty Brew. What is more American than capitalizing on excess crap?
I mean, that's essentially what like hot dogs are.
Honestly, yeah. Like it's just, hey, and in a way, it's actually eliminating waste.
One thing that is great that came from capitalizing on waste products is Stroop waffles.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So good, because what they would do is when they had all this leftover bread and pastry material, they would just compress it down into a sugary syrup.
Yeah.
And eventually, like people loved it so much that they started developing like an actual recipe for it.
I know that this is way off topic, but Trader Joe's has incredible Stroop waffles.
So good.
And I dip it in my coffee, and it's so incredible.
Yeah, I love Stroop waffles.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. So we are changing the credits a little bit because Bryson is not going to be the only one editing from now on. I'll be in charge of the video podcast.
Yeah, I edit the audio podcast. He edits the video because there's some weird stuff.
So the editing for this podcast is done by both of us.
Yeah.
Zach Barneson and Bryson Johnson. The music that you're probably hearing now and at the beginning of this episode, I wrote it. Zach Barneson.
Yeah.
Look me up. You might find this podcast. And if you want to reach out to us, give us any music recommendations, or let us know how you fight your existential dread, be sure to @podcasttgt for our social media. You can comment, direct message, whatever you want to do. We'll get it. And if you want to email us, tgtpodcastofficial@gmail.com. Just let us know what you're doing.
Yeah. Let us know where you're at. What's going on?
What are
Tell
you
us
wearing?
everything. We are definitely not NSA agents in disguise.
All right. Thanks for listening. Take care out there.